Hello, Ivan fans. I'm going to read a quick chapter. We're going to talk and then I'll read some more. If you remember yesterday, I was just reading about when Julia named Bob. So there's one more chapter that talks about Julia. I'm going to show you a picture of Julia so you can get her in your brain. There she is with her drawing paper. Bob and Julia. Bob will not let humans touch him. He says that their scent upsets his digestion. But every now and then, I see him sitting at Julia's feet. Her fingers move gently just behind his right ear. Okay, I want to stop there. I am going to read some more, but I want to stop there because our lesson today, what I want you to think about, we're talking a lot about characters. So what can we learn about Julia by the way that she treats Bob? What can we learn about Julia by the way that she treats Bob? Julia is, what word would you use? The way that she treats Bob. She draws pictures of him. She was petting him behind his ears, and he doesn't let anybody pet him. She sits with Ivan. I know this isn't directly related to Bob, but this is how she's treating other characters, right? She sits with Ivan every night, even though she could sit anywhere at the Big Top Mall, right? So I think she is an animal lover. Would you agree with that? I believe she is an animal lover. I also believe that she is a very gentle soul, a gentle girl. Gentle. Whoops. So, oh, do you see? Sometimes I spell things wrong when I'm making my notes. You can hardly see that. But it doesn't matter. It's my notes. It doesn't matter if I just fixed it and moved on, right? Nope, it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, so I want you to start thinking about that. As we know more about characters, we start to think about how they treat other characters, which gives us more information about what we know about them, okay? So here we are. Now we're going to learn a little bit about Mac. Who is Mac? Oh, that's right. Mac is the owner of the mall. Okay, so here we go. Usually Mac leaves after the last show, but tonight he is in his office working late. When he's done, he stops by my domain and stares at me for a long time while he drinks from a brown bottle. George joins him, broom in hand, and Mac says the thing he always says. How about the game last night? And business has been slow, but it'll get better. You'll see. And don't forget to empty the trash. Mac glances over at the picture that Julia is drawing. What are you making? He asks. It's for my mom, Julia says. It's a flying dog. She holds up her drawing, eyeing it critically. Critically means that she's looking at it really hard. She likes airplanes and dogs. Mac murmurs, sounding unconvinced. He looks at George. How's the wife doing anyway? About the same, George says. She has good days and bad days. Yeah, don't we all, Mac says. Mac starts to leave, and then he pauses. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out a crumpled green bill, and presses it into George's hand. Here, Mac says with a shrug. Buy the kids some more crayons. Mac is already out the door before George can yell, Thanks! So a crumpled green bill, what was that? A crumpled green bill was some money, right? For Julia to get some new crayons. Not sleepy is the next chapter. Stella, I say after Julia and her father go home. I can't sleep. Of course you can, she says. You're the king of sleepers. Shh, Bob says from his perch on my belly. I'm dreaming about chili fries. I'm tired, I said, but I'm not sleepy. What are you tired of? Stella asks. I think for a while. It's hard to put it into words. Gorillas are not complainers. We're dreamers, poets, philosophers, nap takers. I don't know exactly. I kick at my tire swing. I think I may be a little tired of my domain. It's because it's a cage, Bob tells me. Bob is not always tactful. The word tactful means he doesn't always say the right thing at the right time. Like sometimes we might not like something. Somebody might give you a pair of socks for Christmas, right? And you're like, oh, I really don't like socks. Well, you shouldn't say, whoa, I don't really like socks. You should say, well, thank you for the gift, right? That's what tactful means. You say You do the right thing even if you don't necessarily agree with it. That's because it's a cage, Bob tells me. Bob is not always tactful. I know, Stella says. It's a very small domain. And you're a very big gorilla, Bob adds. Stella? I ask. Yes? I noticed you were limping more than usual today. Is your leg bothering you? Just a little, Stella answers. I sigh. Bob resettles. His ears flick. He drools a bit, but I don't mind. I'm used to it. Try eating something, Stella says. That always makes you happy. I eat an old brown carrot. It doesn't help, but I don't tell Stella. She needs to sleep. You could try remembering the good old days, Stella suggests. That's what I do when I can't sleep. Stella remembers every moment since she was born. Every scent, every sunset, every slight, every victory. You know I can't remember much, I say. There's a difference, Stella says gently, between can't remember and won't remember. That's true, I admit. Not remembering can be difficult, but I've had a lot of time to work on it. Memories are precious, Stella says. They help tell us who we are. Try remembering all your keepers. You always liked Carl, the one with the harmonica. Carl, yes. I remember how he gave me a coconut when I was still a juvenile. It took me all day to open it. I try to recall the others I have known, the humans who cleaned my domain and prepared my food, and sometimes kept me company. There was one who poured Pepsis into my waiting mouth, and Katrina, who used to poke me with a broom when I was sleeping. And Ellen, who sang, How much is that monkey in the window? With a sad smile while she scrubbed my water bowl. And there was Gerald, who once brought me a box of fat, sweet strawberries. Gerald was my favorite keeper. I haven't had a real keeper in a long time. Max says he doesn't have the money to pay for an ape babysitter. These days, George cleans my cage, and Max is the one who feeds me. When I think about all the people who have taken care of me, mostly it's Mac, I recall, day in, day out, year after year. Mac, the one who bought me and raised me and says I'm no longer cute. As if a silverback could ever be cute. Moonlight falls on the frozen carousel, on the silent popcorn stand, on the stall of leather belts that smell like long-gone cows. The heavy work of Stella's breathing sounds like the wind in trees, and I wait for sleep to find me. Next chapter is called The Beetle. I think we have time for just one more chapter. Mac gives me a new black crayon and a fresh pile of paper. It's time to work again. I smell the crayon, roll it in my hands, press the sharp point against my palm. There's nothing I love more than a new crayon. I search my domain for something to draw. What is black? An old banana peel would work, but I've eaten them all. Knot tag is brown. My little pool is blue. The yogurt raisin I'm saving for this afternoon is white, at least on the outside. Something moves in the corner. I have a visitor. A shiny beetle has stopped by. Bugs often wander through my domain on their way to somewhere else. Hello, beetle, I say. He freezes, silent. Bugs never want to chat. The beetle's an attractive bug with a body like a glossy nut. He's black as a starless night. That's it. I'll draw him. It's hard making a picture of something new. I don't get a chance to do that often. But I try. I look at the beetle, who's being kind enough not to move, and then back at my paper. I draw his body, his legs, his little antennae, his sour expression. I'm lucky. The beetle stays all day. Usually bugs don't linger when they visit. I'm beginning to wonder if he's feeling all right. Bob, who's been known to munch on bugs from time to time, often offers to eat him. I tell Bob that won't be necessary. I'm just finishing my last picture when Mac returns. George and Julia are with him. Mac enters my domain and picks up the drawing. The heck is this? He asks. Beats me what Ivan thinks he's drawing. This is a picture of nothing. A big black nothing. Julia, standing outside my domain, says, Can I see? Mac holds the picture up to the window. Julia tilts her eyes. She squeezes one eye shut. Then she opens her eyes and scans my domain. I know, it's a beetle. Over there by Ivan's pool. Man, I just sprayed this place for bug. Mac walks over to the beetle and he lifts his foot. Before Max can stomp, the beetle skitters away, disappearing through a crack in the wall. Whew! Mac turns back to my drawing. So, you figure this is a beetle, huh? If you say so, kid. Oh, that's a beetle for sure, Julia says, smiling at me. I know a beetle when I see one. It's nice, I think, to have a fellow artist around. That's all for today, guys. See you tomorrow.